Hi, I'm Amber Watkins, Director of Alumni Relations at the Krannert School of Management, here today with the Krannert Executive Forum speaker. We have Whitney Brooks. Whitney is an account executive for Nutanix. She is a Krannert alum, and she is also a member of our Krannert School Alumni Association Alumni Board. So we are so proud to have her here. Hi, Whitney.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being at Krannert today. And we are excited to have you speak to our students, share your story, your Krannert experience. Talk to us a little bit about your role at Nutanix. What is a day in the life of an account executive there?
So one thing I like about tech sales in my role is that every day is different. I get to speak with different organizations, large enterprise organizations in Indiana. Most of the time I spend is in front of customers and trying to understand business problems and how data lives within their environment, if it needs to be in a specific location, how people access it, and understanding what the data does. So data is definitely, we're data driven. Our lifestyles are being very on demand and having access to information immediately. So my role is to help understand how it is going to impact the final business outcome and provide the path to make that happen.
Okay, good. So let's take a step back then and think about your time here at Purdue. Why did you choose to come to Purdue, and what was it about Krannert that drew you to getting a degree from this school?
So my mom went to Purdue, and I love the experience she had. She had lived in Illinois before coming to Purdue, and her family moved to Indiana, and I was born and raised in Indiana. And also my sister, older sister, who I'm very similar to, went to IU, and I thought, well, I'm not going to go there. So Mom and I went to Purdue, and Dad and Justine went to IU, and my twin brother, broke the tie and went to Wabash College. So we are house divided. And for Krannert, I think business has always been intriguing. My mom is an attorney, and she had an industrial management degree from Krannert. And again, her experience here and her experience growing up, she's been one of my role models, and I wanted to be like my mom.
And you were an econ major, right?
Yes.
And so why did you choose econ? What was it about that drew you?
So I'm fortunate econ came easily to me. I started off as an industrial management, and some of the skill set required there, I was not the most studious of freshmen, and that was something that I struggled with. And econ came naturally. I understood, I liked the graphs, I liked being very specific on what was occurring and telling a story around it. So econ drew me in. Industrial management did not as much, but I had a lot of the groundwork in the mathematics and the science, chemistry, and it just lent itself. It kind of chose me rather than me choosing it.
I love that. Yeah, I think you got the foundation in that first year and then able to find your passion
and some
here.
struggles,
Yeah.
yes.
Good. So you started your career after you graduated from the Krannert School, started your career in state government and
Yes.
worked in state government for several years.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that experience. What drew you to working in state government, and what did you like about your time in that sector?
I was a lieutenant governor intern my junior year, so I was selected by Joseph Kernan to be on that intern team, and it was a great experience. And I met my first boss, Wendy, and she was able to I was able to interview and find a role within state government. I worked for the Department of Commerce at the time, and state government, I liked the politics of it. I enjoyed being able to serve publicly. I think it is a calling to be in public service. I worked for 3 governors, O'Bannon, Kernan, and then Daniels. People gave me the opportunity to have a responsibility over an entire program with the state, basically after college, which is, in corporate America, you don't get that kind of opportunity. And I was able to start graduating, so in terms of working on programs and working with businesses in Indiana, I love the opportunity. It was great to understand what drove them in terms of incentives, and it's a very competitive between states, and understanding economic development in general. So it really used my degree, which I loved, in economics, and understanding the different nuances about it, and it also seeing a transition of governors was very impactful at that age.
Yeah, definitely. Well, certainly the passion for that work is shining through, and relevant to the work that you're doing now, where now you're almost on the flip side of that, where you're supporting Indiana companies, continuing to help them thrive. So that's great. So you touched on this in your last response, but can you expand a little bit on how you think your time here at Krannert helped prepare you for the career that you've led?
Yeah, I love Krannert and I love Purdue. Krannert helped me learn to think. And, you know, when I looked at problems, I would have to go in my, 300s and 400 level classes. I'd look at the problems, I'd read through it, and then I'd have to go away for a while and go do something else and then come back to it. And then I could start developing my response. And I think in terms of looking at business problems and looking at life itself, like you're not going to just be able to, have an answer right away. It's not a problem solution type of situation. And Krannert instilled that in me. And the professors were always helpful. For me, I needed some office hour time just to help develop my thinking skills.
So you're ultimately here today to speak to students in our Executive Forum class. As they walk out of their session with you, what is one thing that you hope that they take away after hearing your story and your message?
I think in terms of career, to be intentional, to have the ability to look at yourself and your skill set and to start investing in yourself. Because I think, a lot of times we forget that we need to continue to grow after college. After an MBA, it's easy to be like, I'm going to give up on, studying and learning, but that's a life skill. I think we could all use a lot more human empathy. There's a lot more of a story behind people. And I think that's what I hope, that people take away from today, is that it's a story that we're human and that when we better ourselves, we're bettering our community.
Well, certainly important message. I'm so happy that you're here, Whitney. We thank you for being here. We're excited for you to be in front of our students.
Thank you.
For the Krannert Executive Forum, I'm Amber Watkins. Thank you for watching.